Fear Strikes Out is a really interesting and definitely quite moving film. This was released in 1957. This is directed by Robert Mulligan, it's written by Ted Berkman and Raphael Blau, and it's based on the book by Jimmy Piersall and Al Hirshberg, and we have a cast including Anthony Perkins as Jimmy Piersall, and it is basically the story of his baseball career and his mental health, and how sometimes the two combined could be quite difficult, but it's also looking at his relationship with his father as well, and I think that part of it I found to be really fascinating, and I don't want to go into too much detail there, I don't want to give away too much, but I found that that part of it was really, really fascinating. And the film obviously looks at Piersall's personal life and then his career with the Red Sox. The Red Sox, Boston Red Sox, is my team of choice, so that was particularly delightful. But even if you're not a Red Sox fan, I think you'll still find it to be a really interesting story. And obviously it looks at his mental health and how his mental health affected him, affected his gameplay. And then, of course, as I said, it also looks at his relationship with his father, and yeah, that part of it I thought was not expected, because I didn't know anything about him going into this. I didn't know really what it would be focusing on other than the overarching narrative, and there were various aspects of this that I thought were unexpected, really moving, and really, really thought-provoking. Because it is based on Piersall's book, I'm assuming it is very heavily factual. But if anybody knows of anything that was maybe altered for the purpose of the film, please do let me know. But certainly, I took it all with a pinch of salt, but I believed it. It was easy to buy into, and that, of course, makes it more emotional. If I'm believing this, if it feels like Piersall is, as he is, a real individual, it does make it a little bit heavier, and it does get quite intense and emotional. That's not to say there aren't any light moments. It's not the heaviest film in the world, but it's definitely also not the easiest to watch in some ways as well. We also have some, obviously, aspects focusing on baseball, and I love baseball films. I love the Red Sox, so the baseball scenes I really enjoyed as well. It's a solid film with great pacing, a really engaging narrative. Piersall is a really interesting, likeable character, easy to want the best for him pretty much from the very beginning. And obviously, as we get to know him and care more about him as a character, and then the aspects of the narrative also increase in intensity, it just gets more emotional and more thought-provoking as it goes along, and I don't have any complaints about this at all. As I said, if there are any aspects that are maybe altered for the purpose of the film, do let me know, but generally it felt believable, and even if it were a work of fiction, I think it would still be very thought-provoking. I think there are a lot of strong takeaways from this, whether you're the Piersall of the story or anybody else in his life. I think there are a lot of strong opportunities for reflection here, and even if you just want to watch it as a moving, thought-provoking, baseball-based film, then I'd say Fear Strikes Out is definitely one that's worth watching.